It's the Uprising.
Welcome back to the Uprising. Been a couple weeks. Been a lot of craziness this week, so I definitely wanted to get back and comment on what happened this week. The good and absolute terrible. So the good. Let's get that out of the way. Tuesday, we had some special elections in Georgia, both Senate races, and both Democrats won. Reverend Warnock and John Ossoff both won their races. I thought it was in a split. I thought Purdue was going to win. I thought Warnock was going to win, but they both won. And first things first, give a ton of credit to the organizers, the door knockers, the African American community in Atlanta and Georgia in general. They definitely saved America to a degree, saved us from depression, I think, saved us from absolutely nothing getting done because Mitch McConnell absolutely allowed nothing to get done. Now we do have some Democrats, Republicans, Joe Manchin I'm talking about. I think he's going to switch parties. If he does, I think he's either going to lose or he's going to switch parties eventually. But he's not up for 2024. I think he will lose if he just stays a Democrat because we are moving left. He's a Republican in my eyes. He's in a super red state, so I think he's going to lose or switch coats. But we could get the senator from Alaska. She's not liking where the Republican Party is going. Maybe we can flip her to Democrats or Susan Collins, maybe flip her. Who knows? But Mitt Romney, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, that's down the road. We'll see about that. But this is an incredible win, a historic win. Second black senator from Georgia, which is ridiculous. He's only the second one, or I think he's the first male one, which is this, this systemic racism and ridiculousness of the GOP and the South when it comes to that. So, congratulations, Reverend. He's way more left than Ossoff. So I have some hope with that. He definitely ran more of a centrist campaign, so who knows. Ossoff, he a very cookie cutter, established Democrat, pretty much a Pete Buttigieg clone. I think he's even better Pete Buttigieg. He's not as robotic and weaselly, I think. So I think he definitely has a chance of winning for president one day if he wants to do that. I hope he doesn't, because we don't need more centrist. But that's what we have right now. Again, we won the presidency, we won the Senate, and we won the House, and we need to get some things done. I don't want to hear this. We can't do anything because of blue dot Democrats or the mean Republicans or whatever stupid excuse the Biden administrations want to make. I don't want to hear it. Because if you don't do anything, two things are going to happen. You'll get absolutely annihilated in the midterms, and you will not have a left in your party, which they kind of don't mind that, but they want to win elections. In the time being, they need the left. And we want to, as the left, want to take the party over. Well, I do, and people kind of think like I do, want to take it over. Some people support the Green Party. I'm not going to get into the or the People's Party, which I actually don't mind. I do support progressives if they're going to run for office, so that's fine with me. I'm not going to get into force to vote. I've talked about it on my Instagram page. I've talked to her already about it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. But anyway, if they don't do anything, they'll approve the naysayers, the Jimmy Dores, correct, and they will lose everything, honestly. So again, they need to do something. I'm not expecting them to turn us into the socialist utopia. That's not realistic. That's not going to happen. But the bare minimum is needed. and hopefully it does happen. So there's that. Um, Again, get your stuff together, Democrats. I mean, all Democrats, even ones I like. So is that. Okay, to go get the good knocked right out. Let's get with the bad. So you weren't aware. Wednesday, I don't know how you wouldn't be aware. Pretty much biggest thing to happen this year, definitely. We had a terrorist attack, insurrection, riot, whatever you want to call it. I was calling it a terrorist attack, which in ways I guess it is. In ways, if you want to get semantics, technically it's not. It's more of an insurrection by a bunch of idiots and rich people. Some people just mad and been lied to. Some people just are white people that are not used to having any consequences for their actions. So they just think it just run into the nation's capital. And then you have the terrorists, in my eyes. They want harm, put those bombs there, wanting to kidnap uh, members of Congress, wanting to hang the Vice President Pence. So yes, those people definitely are terrorists in my eyes. But anyway, back to the, if you're not aware again, uh, Trump had a rally about the Stop the Steal rally. He really riled up the base and told them to go march down to the Capitol. Technically, he didn't say break into the Capitol and cause mayhem, but it's definitely implied. Trump is really good at not having full on blame on him, so he can weasel his way out of things. But Trump is, I think, very extremely responsible for what happened Wednesday. Senator Josh Hawley, I actually liked him until recently. I don't actually didn't mind him until recently. I don't like him now. I think he needs to resign. Ted Cruz, I can't stand. He's a weasel. I can't stand Ted Cruz. He needs to resign even before this week. But he definitely needs to resign now. And all the people that went with this nonsense, they did resign as well. They're causing a lot of this mayhem with their lies, their half truths, their gaslighting and misleading their supporters, thinking that this election was stolen, which it wasn't. I'm not saying that it wasn't a little bit of fraud. It probably was. That does need to be investigated for protect their integrity of elections going forward. But widespread fraud is ridiculous. It didn't happen. President Biden is going to be the president. He won fairly, in my opinion, and the facts bear that out. So, again, people in charge and people who have power should be most responsible for these actions. I'm not taking away from the people that went in there. They all need to be prosecuted, because this is not just some breaking into Target and destroying shit. That's the United States Capitol. No one's ever, now the British did, but they're not, okay, let me rephrase this. No American has ever attacked our capital and gotten into our capital. Not during the Civil War, not during uprisings we've had in this country. That has never happened. This entire country's history. That is a historic moment. I'm tired of living in historic moments. But yeah, we're living in that. So that's a big deal, and infuriates me that people are not acting like this is a huge deal. I think the president needs to be impeached. It's probably not going to go through. The Senate's not going to do that. But in the House and in the gesture, it needs to happen. If there's no consequences for the people in charge, someone that's not an idiot like Trump is will try to do certain things, and that person will be way more successful in my eyes than Trump was. Now, Trump, I think to a certain degree, I don't think he wanted to like completely overturn the entire government, but he wanted to stay in charge. So if that was the end chorus, I think he would have been fine with it. He's just an idiot and he's just lazy. So I never really expected the full-on coup to happen. But what happened Wednesday was what I was worried about. I guess a little bit of words worried about full on coup, but mostly what happened Wednesday, and I think will likely happen in the future. I worried that the Biden administration will go through a lot of domestic terror attacks. Maybe not a lot, but some. And hopefully it doesn't get as bad as it happened in the 90s. I've been saying this on the Instagram page. Go follow. It's the Uprising on Instagram. We're on Twitter. I'm not as active on that. I'm on Facebook as well. I'm not active on that either. Instagram is really where I'm at, and YouTube is more. I do need to get more involved with other ones. I just don't really like social media that much. Anyway, so I been saying this, and I definitely believe this even more so. I do worry that, especially if the Biden administration doesn't take this seriously, doesn't take domestic terrorism from right-wing extremists more seriously, it's going to happen because, and if these people that stormed the building actually got into the building and beat on cops and other things, if they don't have any charges and there's no serious consequences, this will happen again and it will be way worse. Fortunately, this wasn't that bad. Only a few people died. Rest in peace to those people. I don't care if they're cops or not; they're still humans. Uh, but things could get really bad if those people were more organized and had more weapons. Maybe things would have changed, and we wouldn't have a way bigger issue. So, luckily, that didn't happen, and no one was really seriously hurt when it comes to the Congress. Some cops, unfortunately, got badly beaten, and one died from being beaten. One supporter was shot, and one person I think died from a heart attack, and I don't know about the other one. But anyway, luckily this wasn't that bad. But if this is not taken seriously and there's no repercussions, I think this will happen and it'll be worse. Maybe not the Capitol, but other things, other capitals, the states, I mean, and just other attacks like that. So um, people need to be held responsible, and the hypocrisy and this is barren. If this was Muslim extremist bordering the Capitol, trying to kill Congress people, having nooses and all those things, oh yeah, there would be a lot of bloodshed in my eyes. This was Antifa and anti-fascists and Black Lives Matter. I don't know if it would be as bad as if it was Muslim terrorists, but I think it would be bad too. And so I don't think they would have got into the Capitol like the insurrectionists from the Trumpers. Definitely things would definitely been different. There's videos. There's one video of this cops kind of just letting people in. And there's been reports that didn't necessarily let them in. Just broke the things down, and cops couldn't really do anything, so they retreated. There's other video of this cop just kind of just telling them, "Come on, come on." So maybe that cop was kind of in on it. And people are kind of talking about, was this like an inside job? I don't know. I think there was maybe some coordination. Coordination. Right wingers are talking about this for weeks now. So I'm pretty certain the president tweeted something about January 6th. So again, King Klippenstein or Stein, however you say his last name, he reported on the Hill Rising that people in the government, FBI, and people like that didn't necessarily take this seriously enough because they kind of have a biased, because they kind of align with those people, not necessarily the insurrectionists, but they're mostly right wing, so they don't. They're the racism or just bias in general have a different viewpoint on different protesters and their perception of the rioters as well, which needs to change. Or this one, again, like I was saying before, there's no real consequences and there's no things that I'm going to add on this. If there's no add measures, this will happen again. Maybe not in the Capitol, but other places. So again, the police need to take this seriously, need to take their bias out of it, or they just need to hire different cops. That's a different discussion. Anyway, so Trump needs to be impeached in my eyes again. It's not going to help the country. I think it's going to flame this situation even worse. But again, needs to be consequences for his actions. He directly or indirectly did incite a mob. So again, there needs to be consequences. So that's the last thing I'm going to say about that. Last thing I'm going to talk about what happened today. The president was expended permanently banned from Twitter, certain Facebook as well. So two of the major platforms, because of social media, he's not allowed to be on them anymore. So I begrudgingly support it, just because who he is and the situation we are in currently. And I posted this on my Instagram as well, that we're in a tinderbox and he could push this country over the edge because we're on the edge. He can push us over that cliff if he really wanted to. Now, I don't think it would be a full-on civil war, but it would be a lot of violence and a lot of bloodshed, and we don't need that to happen. So I begrudgingly, again, support it, just because the president is more deranged than he usually is, and who knows what's going to happen these next pretty much 11 days. When this comes out, it'll be 11 days. So I don't like it. I don't like billionaire tech oligarchs having that much power over the president, especially, or public figures. But again, this is their platform. So technically, the Trump can get on his stupid podium and talk as much as he wants. So he's not muzzled and he's not in some gulag somewhere. So anyway, I'm conflicted, but at the end of the day, I support it. I do kind of repeat myself a lot, if you just haven't noticed that, but I want to get the point. I want to get the point nailed on. So that's why I do that, and that's kind of how I talk anyway. So that's all I really had to say. This shorter episodes. I am looking for someone, a co-host. I will definitely want to think about more in the future, but I am looking for a co-host. Pack and I are so good friends, and he's my buddy, but he's doing his different thing. He's more focused on Smokelahoma, and I support that. And he's still affiliated, but he's kind of behind the scenes now, and I am doing this by myself. And I definitely want someone to bounce off of. So if you are a leftist and like to do this as well with me, we can definitely message, and we'll see if that works out or not. But that's all I got to say. Thank you for watching. This is Uprising.
Uprising.